Industrial video is a term that consists of marketing and sales films, training videos, business-to-business presentations, and other longer format productions. Here are some samples of projects on which Richard R. Robbins was director, cameraman, and editor.
These innovations are evident in our Louisville, Nebraska plant. Located 20 minutes southwest of Omaha, Nebraska, it's among the most modern and fuel-efficient cement plants in the world. With an annual production capacity rated at 1 million tons of cement, the Louisville plant is the largest of the Ash Grove facilities. But despite all the new technology, the recipe for cement hasn't changed much since 1882. It begins in the quarry, where we collect the materials essential to making cement: limestone, clay, and sand. With nearly 3,000 acres along the Platte River, the Louisville plant has access to an area rich in all these materials. After field testing, the raw materials are excavated with heavy equipment using scrapers, drills, and explosives. After the materials are removed from the area, the land is reclaimed back to nature to support the surrounding wildlife. The limestone, clay, and sand are then crushed, blended, and sent to the quarry's A-frame storage by an overhead conveyor system. From here, the material is removed at the rate of 600 tons an hour by a bucket reclaim system. The product is then dumped into 3 silos where the limestone, clay, and sand are drawn out in proportional amounts by weight. The material is again broken down in the raw mill system, where it is ground, dried, and classified by size. At this point, the larger particles are removed, broken down further, and sent to the homogenizing silos, where they are mixed by using jets of compressed air. The material is then sent to one of 2 160-foot-long rotating infernos, called kilns. It's in the kiln where these raw materials are transformed into a usable product called cement clinker.
Located in Omaha, Nebraska, CSG operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide full-service bill printing and mailing services that significantly reduce costs through special relationships with the U.S. Postal Service, paper suppliers, and equipment providers. Combine state-of-the-art technologies with zero-defect policies and procedures. Offer customers the highest degree of flexibility with as many as 28 billing cycles per month to spread customer call volume and cash flow throughout the month. Provide customers with the capability of turning monthly statements into targeted marketing and communications tools without increasing their postal investment. The CSG Statement Processing Center is part of CSG Systems, Inc., one of the world's leading providers of high-volume transaction processing, customer care systems, database management, and marketing services. The CSG Statement Processing Center employs the latest technologies, experienced people, and efficient processes to ensure our clients' needs are met on time, every time. In 1996, CSG mailed over 241 million pieces with more than 323 million images. We processed more than 16,000 different inserts with a total volume of 190 million. And more than 1.1 million refund checks were processed at the CSG Statement Processing Center, in addition to more than 11 million past due notices and over 3 million computer-generated letters. CSG is in complete compliance with the classification reforms set forth by the U.S. Postal Service. Regardless of the volume of the run or the size of the client, quality and accuracy are critical. CSG's zero-defect quality control policy ensures demands are met without exception.
Chilled product must be stored in a cooler or refrigerator case at 41 degrees Fahrenheit or less. As for coffin case usage, make absolutely sure that the product is not stacked above the true refrigeration line. We culinary and food service professionals still live by the age-old saying, keep it clean, keep it cold, keep it moving. Our traditional pies feature creamy chicken or savory beef pie filling surrounded by flaky pastry. The pies have both a top and bottom pastry crust, which bakes to a very attractive light golden brown. We recommend applying an egg wash or commercial browning agent to the pie before baking. This will add golden color and sheen to the cooked pastry crust. The preparation of these products is quite simple. The pies come individually cartoned, 12 to a case. Preheat your calibrated convection oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Wash, sanitize, and glove your hands. Remove the pies from the carton and place a maximum of 6 pies onto a sheet tray lined with parchment paper. Apply an egg wash with a pastry brush. If you are using a commercial browning agent, thoroughly cover by spraying or brushing onto the top crust. Make sure your oven is up to temperature. Place pot pies in the oven. Set timer for 25 minutes. Wash the cutting board, countertop, and utensils. After the timer sounds, remove and rotate the tray. This allows for more even browning. Reset timer for an additional 35 minutes.
Built at a cost of nearly $50 million, the new E.H. Harriman Dispatching Center will eventually house some 800 train and crew dispatchers and train management employees. Using state-of-the-art equipment, dispatchers direct the movements of more than 700 trains per day across our 19-state system. Employees are clearly the stars at the Harriman Dispatching Center, while technology and the work environment play strong supporting roles. For many, it represents an unusual marriage of high technology and historic preservation. A new building with old roots. The Harriman Dispatching Center is built on a site near Union Pacific's Omaha Depot, called the Cowshed, a reference to its open-ended design. A century ago, it was a point of passage for thousands of settlers en route to the west. By 1890, west and east were linked by a network of rails. Union Pacific's local business was growing, and the Cowshed was no longer adequate. So a new facility was constructed, using many materials from the Cowshed. The new depot was the second largest in America, handling up to 60 rail cars on 4 tracks. Newspapers of the day hailed it as functional and attractive. 7 years later, the depot and the financially exhausted railroad were sold for $58 million to a group of New York investors headed by E.H. Harriman. With this new start, the company grew and prospered for the next 8 decades. But by 1977, the freight house had become just another old brick building, forgotten by most. Then, 10 years later, it again became the focus of attention when civic and business leaders began to redevelop Omaha's riverfront, the location of the old freight house. The development coincided with Union Pacific's decision to centralize its train and crew dispatching operations. Union Pacific Chairman Mike Walsh found a way for both the railroad and Omaha to benefit.